But this is not one. When I look at this list, and I love Bucky, Bucky does a phenomenal job.
He does.
That's my guy.
Yep.
But to say Aaron Rodgers is not top 5, I don't know where Bucky has been. He's looking at too many stats. Stats don't always tell the full and complete story. That's my issue with this list. When I look at this list, we have a Patrick Mahomes. Is he special? Is he going to be transcendent? That's the hope. That's what we think he can be. But has he done it consistently more than a year? No. Do we believe he will? Yes. I believe we've seen enough with our eyes to take the eye test to say that kid is special. But when I look at Aaron Rodgers and I look at this list of quarterbacks, statistically, may they have some better numbers or records of teams? Possibly. But I look at things like this. If I take Aaron Rodgers and I compare him to all these quarterbacks, is there anything on any one of these quarterbacks that can do something that Aaron Rodgers can't do at any point in the game, under any position in the game, whether it's 2 minute, down 6, down 3, get my team the ball, first down, field goal, whatever the case may be? No. There's nothing any one of these quarterbacks can do that Aaron can't do. But when you flip that and you put Aaron in that position, the closest, with the exception of Patrick Mahomes now, that has ever come to being able to do everything that Aaron Rodgers can do, everything that he has in his toolbox, Russell Wilson. He's the only one that could potentially do anything close, remotely close. Not saying the others aren't great. Tom Brady, obviously, the greatest to do it because of all the acknowledgments and the achievements that he's had. But Aaron Rodgers, just because he's been injured, because he hasn't been in the playoff picture, because he doesn't have the wins, we want to all of a sudden say, man, this guy isn't what we think he is. Stop lying to yourself. This guy is special. And if any owner or general manager had the opportunity to reset their whole roster and say, I can start with a quarterback, they might pick Patrick Mahomes because he's younger, Russell Wilson possibly because he's younger, but Aaron Rodgers is coming off that board.
Maybe they'd be wrong.
Maybe not.
Nah, come on.
I love Bucky. I think he does a great job. I think he's evaluating. Obviously, he was a scout. He's looked at enough film. But I got to disagree with him. I got to disagree with him, Skip Bayless, because here, what we're looking at, they don't shock. Aaron Rodgers is suffering from the same thing that has happened to LeBron James because he set a standard so high of being transcendent. Aaron Rodgers threw for 4,400 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 2 picks. It's the same thing. LeBron James won an MVP in Miami with 26, 8, and 7. And he won the MVP. He had 27, 8, and 8, and he stepped off a cliff. Because why, Skip? He didn't make the playoffs. Aaron didn't make the playoffs. You see, ultimately what we judge a quarterback by is Super Bowls. Did he win the Super Bowl? Well, no, he didn't. But it's been rarely that Aaron Rodgers has possessed a Super Bowl caliber defense because, as you mentioned last week, Skip, we went midway through the 4th quarter, and the score in the Super Bowl was 3-0.
It was.
Now, the St. Louis Rams had one of the top 2 offenses in all of football, and they had 0 points halfway through the 4th quarter.
Overrated quarterback.
Well, I don't know about overrated. All I know is about what the numbers say. The numbers said they had one of the top 2 offenses in all of football, as far as yards, as far as points. And Coach Belichick's defense. Now, he mentioned coaching staff. Do we think Mike McCarthy is anything comparable to Bill Belichick?
No, but he's pretty good. I think this man would say he's pretty good.
He is pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what?
But to answer your question, no.
No, thank you. Do we think he's Sean Payton?
For a while he was. I mean, people kept saying he's the best play caller in the league.
You know what, Greg? For a while I was in college. For a while I was in college, but I ain't been there in a while, Skip Bayless. And you know that. See, that's what you... See, that's the problem that me and you... See, when me and you go at it, Skip Bayless, because you always do this. You always try to make it seem like Aaron Rodgers has had the best of the best. Tom Brady... Skip, if you don't mind me asking, and then I'm going to let you have it, because you already know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady did something in the Super Bowl 51, I think. You told me he threw for the most yards in a playoff game in NFL history. Now, Jenny, I don't know if anybody knows this. The NFL is 100 years old this year. And no quarterback prior had ever thrown for more yards in a game than Tom Brady.
Playoff game, yeah.
In a playoff game. Skip, can you tell the people what happened to Tom Brady? He took the L.
Belichick happened.
Okay, he took the L. Why? Because
Bill Belichick benched Malcolm Butler, and they gave up 40 points to the Eagles' backup quarterback.
Well, Mike McCarthy and Ted Thompson did not feel top 10 because when he had a top 10 defense, they went to and they won the Super Bowl. And when you have a 20th defense or a 25th ranked defense, you're not winning the Super Bowl, Skip Bayless. So Aaron Rodgers is top 5. Because all I know, you say Football Focus, they say when they graded that thing, who's that graded it? Then them 30 execs said Aaron Rodgers was tier 1.
Indeed.
He was first.
Yeah, but they were ripping him. They were slashing him.
You rip me.
But tell me I'm number one.
Tell me I'm number 1.
We all got flaws.
Shannon Sharp.
What?
Given where you rank and rate Aaron Rodgers, transcendent, all-time greatest thrower of the football, he has become the most overrated quarterback in the National Football League. He is no longer top 5 in production. Like, what does your eye test tell you? What do the numbers tell you? And the key numbers are wins and losses.
Yeah.
That's what Bucky based his premise on. He's just not winning the way he used to win. And you have to go way back to that long ago Super Bowl that you played in and you broke it open with the catch of the game. It's a better catch than a throw, but you did it. Well, he did.
Don't do that.
I credit him for that. But that was like 10 years ago.
Greg, don't let it fool you, Greg. He credited you, but you know he tried to take a swipe at you.
You already know it.
Aaron Rodgers is still top 5 in capability, but not in production. He's just not been doing it. I agree with you. I'll watch him in some preseason game this year, and I'll say, wow, he can really throw it. But when it comes time to win the football game, he's just not winning. His QBR has dropped each of the last 3 years. His percentage, his completion percentage has dropped each of the last 3 years. Last year, he went 6-9-1, and over the last 3 years, he's 20-18-1, which is 20th in football. Bucky had another stat, but the point is, last year, he shattered the NFL record for throwaways. And again, you can knock it or whatever you want to say. You can defend it all you want.
He don't put the ball in harm's way.
He just says, if I don't like what I see, third row, I'll just throw it in the ground because I'm not going to risk an interception. So he goes 25 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, and he goes 6-9-1. He's in capability, he's still obviously top 5. In durability, he's bottom 5 because he just stays hurt. There's always something wrong. Well, that's part of this equation, right? So I'm with Bucky all along, but I've been telling you he's way overrated because he doesn't produce, and he hasn't produced. How many he got to the NFC Championship game at Seattle, and he was pretty ordinary in both of those games. I got to tell you,
Playing against some special defenses.
Right.
But Skip, when you look at this, okay, look how many yards did Patrick Mahomes have? Played great, 50-10, 50-12. But what let him down? His defense. Ben Roethlisberger threw for the 7th most yards in NFL history. What let him down throughout the course of the season? His defense. It doesn't matter, Skip. But look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady had 0 touchdowns and interception or 26 QBR. Now, you know they measure QBR, 0 to 150 being average. He was 26, and he won the Super Bowl because his defense gave up 3 points, Skip Bayless.
And because he completed 5 straight passes in one drive that produced the touchdown.
Aaron Rodgers completed 22 straight passes.
I'm not going to even go on the defensive rant. Forget the defense. Let's just focus on Aaron Rodgers, the man. Number 1, I'm with you with this LeBron James comparison because the standard was so high. He's the reason why the guys like Patrick Mahomes are so highly touted and sought after now because of what he was able to do in changing the game at that position.
The throws that he can make.
But since when did we start tracking throwaways? Since when did we care about throwaways?
I don't know, 10 years ago?
No, 10 years ago.
No. It wasn't until last year when he was throwing the ball away.
He broke the record. He broke it.
No one ever. If he broke the record for interceptions, would you talk about that more, or would you care about the throwaways?
Because when you played with a guy named Brett, and they say, Brett, you're forcing the ball because it was getting picked off. Now he doesn't put the ball in harm's way, and so now you criticize him for that.
It's like he can't win.
How many times did Brett pull off a throw through a tight window where you said, how did he do that?
And he's done the same thing. And then
that throw on the sideline.
Keeping it on Aaron Rodgers, keeping it on him.
How did he do it? He was
act
wide
as
open.
though
What are you
we act
talking
as
about?
though he wasn't
Window
playing
was bigger.
injured last year.
Yeah,
he wasn't been injured the year before. We act
Broke
as though
collarbone,
everything has
knee.
been just crystal clean with his health to where he can play at the highest level. No, it's unrealistic. Even with being healthy and playing a 17-week season, he still are going to have some ups and downs, some bumps and bruises.
Okay.
But he has not been at full